So today's video is covering one of the toughest shots I think that golfers struggle with out on the golf course, and that's the fairway bunker shot. How can you still get good strike and good distance when you're in these fairway bunkers halfway down a par 4 or a par 5? And there are some IQ elements to it and there's some technical elements to it. In terms of IQ, it's a bit like the greenside bunkers. You've got to read the lie. Now, I've got two lies here. One I would say is a green light to clip off the top, and there's no reason you still can't get maximum distance from it, because I can see the back of the ball here and I know I'm not going to get any sand between club face and ball, assuming I enter it with the correct angle. This one here, however, you can see how it's nestled down a little bit, and if I've got a fairway bunker shot and I'm trying to get maximum distance from that, that would just be actually impossible. You can still attempt it and still try and play your full swing and hopefully maybe get it 70 to 80, maybe 100 yards. But you have to understand when it sits in these sort of groove marks where it's been raked, okay, and you get a little bit behind it, that makes the shot even harder. So you do need a lie when you're in the bunker. If you haven't, it's going to be very difficult. You have to understand the limitations of that. But assuming you've got the lie, the next thing you really need to think about is making sure the lip is clear. Like, what you don't want to do is hit the lip. You have to make sure you're going to clear that. I've seen a number of times, I've done it myself, where you hit it straight into the lip and then you're stuck at the front and you start really racking up a score. So number one, make sure you're always able to clear it. That is the golden rule. This lip here isn't too bad. I feel that I could probably get a fairly long club at this, but if I was going, say, this way, where now I've got this lip to clear, I would have to use probably about an 9 iron, I would say. I might want to, let's say I've still got 200 yards to go. I'd love to be able to get a 5 iron on it, for example, but from here I can't. I'd have to use an 8 iron. So respect the lip. Really think about the launch angle. You're not allowed to let the club touch the sand, but a quick tip for you to understand launch angle, really simple. If you stand on your club face like that with it flush, basically where that shaft is pointing, more or less, is the height the ball will take off on for a well-struck shot. So, less loft will be like that, and more loft it will be like that. Obviously, you can't do that in the bunker, but you could do it on the turf perhaps and get an idea for the launch. But here, the lip isn't too high. I know I can clip this off the top. So let's get into a technique about how you can really still strike these well and hopefully get it to the green. So the main task, obviously, is getting ball first. You've got to really make sure you get that ball, get some ball speed into it and get the strike. So there's two schools of thought, really. You can play that ball sort of back of centre, play a little bit of shaft lean into it, and then just basically play your kind of normal shot, normal swing. I've hit that really good there. Ball first, and that's a lovely shot. Nice draw down there. Still quite a lot of divots still. So I've hit down like I would off the fairway. And if you're probably a little bit more an advanced player, that is a really good option. What I would recommend for most of you actually is a slightly different way. Try that way, but try this way as well, where you're picking the ball off a little bit more rather than trying to compress the ball. And what I would do, this is generally how I play it, I take one more club than I'm normally would normally lead. Let's say it's a 150 shot, which would normally be my 8 iron. I would take my 7 and I would grip down 1 inch. So go down 1 inch on the club. When you do that, it flattens this angle from the forearm bone to the top of the thumb, makes it flatter, means your wrists are less likely to hinge. It's going to help you clip it. The key word is clip it off the top. So I play the ball actually a little bit further forward in the stance, wriggle the feet into the sand a little bit, because very important not to sway in a fairway bunker shot. So really feel like you pushing the pressure down, use your spikes, feel like you're rooting your feet down into the sand. If you're swaying off it, it is so easy to hit way behind it and the ball just dribbles out the bunker. So root your feet, play the ball forward and go down 1 inch on the grip. From there, that will take care of the backswing. It'll be a little bit shorter than normal. But my main swing thought is to really make sure my right shoulder gets through the ball. I really want to make sure I am transferring my weight through the shot to not hang back and get stuck underneath it. Obviously, you're going to hit way before it. So here we go, ball forward, down the grip, and really make sure we're transferring our weight to clip the ball off the top. And again, really solid strike. I finished all the way through here. And it's quite ironic actually, I often hit some of my best iron shots out of fairway bunkers because my fault generally, I tend to go this way and get a little bit dumped underneath it, and I just can't do that in the sand. So if you do have a fairway bunker you can practice from, I think it'll be fantastic for your iron play in terms of strike. It really does encourage you to transfer your weights. Let's go through this again. Remember, you can play the ball back, lean the shaft, and just really make sure you get ball first with a divot after it, or you can do this slightly friendlier way, I think. 1 inch down the grip, play the ball forward towards the left heel. The wrist will be a little bit more passive here. We don't have to worry about that because we've done the work at setup. Clip it off the top and make sure your right shoulder is traveling through the shot. Full weight transference into that left side. And that's even better. I've ripped that. I mean, I can't hit it any better than that. High draw. I've got a 7-iron here, and that was perfect, okay? So, as you can see, there's nothing to worry about too much. You have to read the lie, you have to look at the lip, and you have to think about, all right, am I going to back myself to really get ball first with a sort of a regular type of setup with a little bit more shaft lean than normal? Or am I better off just playing it forward and just picking it off the top? Try both. I personally think the second way is easier and probably better for you. Now, sometimes you might be in a par 5 and you've really got to get some distance, and it is possible to use your hybrid or fairway wood. So let's have a look at that one. So let's say you want to get a bit more aggressive here and maybe attempt some sort of wood out of it or hybrid. You do need the lie. Hopefully the ball's run in. That's slightly nestled down, but that's not too bad. It's slightly gone into a groove mark there, okay, but I can still see enough of the ball. The lip for me, I've got a 4 hybrid and I've got a 5 wood here. I'd be confident of the 4 hybrid clearing it. I'd be right on the border of the 5 wood. So we'll try both, but I'm going to start with the 4 hybrid first. So this is a tough shot, obviously, but with the right type of lie, you can totally do this. You just do it exactly the same. You don't go putting this back in the stance. Do it like I just showed you, that second option I just showed you with the 7-iron. Play the ball forward, and you're looking to pick this, almost thin it a little bit, like feel like you're going to get it really clean, almost risking a little bit of a top shot. So play the ball forward. One thing as well that I do when I've got fairway woods out of bunkers, I grip it tighter, right? So one thing I say never to do in golf, but fairway bunkers, grip it a little bit tighter, takes the wrist out a little bit more, and it helps you pick it off the top. And tight muscles generally are shorter muscles, so the club head gets a little bit nearer to you, which is a good thing to stop it getting down into the sand too much. So let's tighten things up, and let's clip this off the top of the sand. Balanced swing, no swaying. Swaying's a killer out of fairway bunkers. Oh wow, that is as good a golf shot I've ever hit. There we go. Look at that, so barely disturbed the sand, just picked that right off the top, and I've got 200 yards out of that hybrid. It is amazing. I know it's difficult, not many facilities have fairway bunkers to practice from. Maybe you can go out on the course and hit a few when it's quiet, but I think this is a brilliant ball striking drill, as well as being a useful shot to have. Let's try that 5 wood as well. Lies okay. Just hopefully be able to carry that. So same thing, ball forward, tighter grip, down a little bit on the grip, and clip it off the top, clip it. Stay high and clip it. Have a great strike, ball first. There you go, again, barely disturbed the sand. So, you know, I'm just hopefully showing you here that just with a few little tricks and a few mental triggers, there's no reason you can't be a little bit more aggressive than you think from these fairway bunkers and still get some good distance and ultimately not really cost you too much within the hole. Just caught the lip there. That's why you don't use the, hit it lovely. As I said, it was right on the border. Hit it well, but that really is the hybrid there. Struck it great though. So, hopefully that helps. I've had lots of videos out, which you've hopefully seen, the greenside shots and those slightly longer bunker shots, those 30, 40 yards, where you're still really taking sand, but here you are not taking sand, you are picking it clean. This is very much long game. and hopefully it's given you some thoughts and some understanding about how to approach this shot, so you don't have any fear about it and you can still get it down there and close to the green. So don't forget, use your IQ, read the lie, check the slope, don't hit the slope there, and make sure you understand whether you're going to play that ball further back or further forward, and just pick that off the top to give you those better strikes. Hopefully that's going to help your game, and I'll see you next time.